Stop writing blog posts manually. Instead, what I want to do is show you the AI content system that I built that can have your blog posts show up in AI search. And all of this happens in less than 10 minutes. Best of all, it's super simple and very scalable. Let me share my screen and show you exactly how this was created. So this past weekend, I'm watching March Madness, and it is the Kentucky versus St. John's game. And I hear Stan Van Gundy say, hey, this is simple but important, but the turnover that just happened, the guy was lazy because he caught it with one hand instead of two. I heard that and I was like, wow, simple but important. I can turn that into a blog post about things in AI that are simple but important. So I took my phone, I spoke into Claude, hey, I see this as an opportunity and I want to turn this into a piece of content. First of all, let's log this into my signal bank. And what is my signal bank? It is in Notion, where I keep track of all of my ideas that I have here, right? That way it's just something that's a running diary. Because at the time I'm like, this is nothing more than an idea. But then my gears started turning. I was like, why can't I do this faster and turn this into a blog post? So I went ahead and I created 2 skills inside of Claude. And those Claude skills are, number 1, write me an AEO optimized blog post that I can give you the context for. And then based on that structure, it'll do it. So I see that in my mind, hey, I can create a high level AEO blog post right here. And what I wanted to do was be able to match this up to data. So the day before, what I went ahead and did, once again inside of Notion, is 2 things. I created a full-blown AEO strategy called AEO Keyphrases and Spiderwebs. So I sat there and I was like, what are people actually searching for to try and get to my world in my offers? So the first thing that I did is I took my list of offers and I just wrote down key phrases and things like that, and I gave it to Claude. And what we ended up building was multiple layers of what I teach, how I describe what I do, and what your actual client is putting into AI. And then it gave me all of this depth here. And I estimate that I did 4 different iterations of it, each time pushing this into my gold vault in Notion. Side note, if you're looking to capture ideas and build an AI operating system, go to robcressy.com/gold vault. This will change the next decade of your business. So in here, we've got all of the key phrases that people are searching for. There's a lot of depth, even for me as a speaker. Hey, what would people be looking for? But there's something in my intuition saying, don't trust Claude on what it gives you, validate and verify. So I went over to Manus and I had it do a full deep dive on the AEO content opportunities based on that Spiderwebs document. And it built out this database here of all of these terms that I can rank for that will come back to my business. And it did so based on competition, content cluster, key phrases, pillars. It did all of this for me. So back to Claude. What I had it do is read those 2 Notion databases and pull out the top 3 instances of what I could create this blog post around. And it says the best match, what separates high performers who use AI from everybody else. Secondary, how high performers use AI differently. Or a third one, how to build an AI daily practice that actually matters. Given that I was watching March Madness, AKA high performers, and what they do different than everybody else, simple but important, boom. I'm going to go with that one right here. So this was my best match, and best of all, it was a priority score 9, high demand, low competition, and it directly goes into my undeniable group coaching program product. So what I then did is I took my phone, and with that headline, I spoke into it what I thought I would want for this, connecting high performance in March Madness to high performance in AI. Here's some simple but important things that you can do to be better with AI. And I dropped that in there, boom, in and out in 2 minutes. And then this is where I ran the skill that I created called the content engine skill. in my mind, AEO blog posts are going to be a consistent part of what I do. Therefore, let's turn this into a skill so Claude can help us format this there. And you can even see this. It read my skill here, and then now it's formatting this, and now that's doing this with my spoken words. I've got my voice DNA in there. I've got my business context. It already knows everything about me. And I built this skill to be so good that it also includes an AEO audit scorecard. So I can see validation that we are doing the things that we need to optimize for AEO. Boom, 93 out of 100. Let's ship this thing. So with this, and side note, I'm not even reading what it's saying. I'm just scrolling right down here, 93 out of 100. Let's ship this. So then it creates this blog post right here for me that is optimized for AEO. So you can see right down there, there's a TLDR. Here's everything. And these are my words. It's just organizing this in a structure so that this works all the way down here. And then down here, we get to it where boom shakalaka, there is the CTA. So that's what we're operating with there. But like most of AI, not everything is going to be 100% right out of the gate. So I said, hey, let's add on a bonus nugget. So we got 5. Let's make that 6. It rewrites it. And then, hey, I didn't like one thing there. So this is what I call the human AI sandwich. Number 1, the human is the bread. You come in there, you give it the context and the data, and then the 80% in the middle, the cheese, the meat, the veggies, that's you and AI co-collaborating back and forth. And then the last part of the human sandwich is the human comes back in and says, hey, let me look at those edits. Let me make sure that this works for me. So that's what I did. I had 3 simple edits there. So this is not something that I'm just setting and forgetting. You could, but I have a high quality filter for my brand. So then the next thing that I did is I ran this through the publishing skill. So I built my website in 3 days using Claude Code. I migrated from 15 years of WordPress. Boom, use Claude Code to rebuild it in 3 days. And with that, I'm now using VS Code to upload all of my blog posts into HTML. So given that this is going to be a consistent process, I created a publishing skill because I don't want to remember all of the stuff for what I need to tell Claude Code. How do I be consistent? How do I make sure everything goes correct? If we're going to do it more than once, let's turn it into a skill. So that's exactly what I did. So it's reading this, and what it ended up doing was creating exactly what I needed to copy and paste inside of Claude Code so that this is set it and forget it simple. I just click copy, boom, I'm done. So now all I do is click VS Code, come down here, click paste, upload. There's my blog post right there. At the same time, because we are building this out using my gold vault in Notion, what we ended up doing was making sure that we added this to my content library. So we can click this thing right here, and what you will see is, there you go. What separates high performers who use AI from everybody else? Here's the exact link to everything that we built. So all of this is referenced right here, so we never lose this, and AI can build on top of this, which is super valuable for future agentic AI. And with all of this, that was so simple. And then the last thing for this is let's add the thumbnail that shows up with the meta description and everything. So I went over here to Gemini, and one of the things that Dan Martell always says is, hey, you can use whatever I want based on what he's creating because I'm part of his program. So I saw Dan Martell had the word simple in one of his thumbnails. I was like, great, this entire blog post is about simple but important. So I went over to Gemini, took his thumbnail, took my picture here, told it, let's recreate this thumbnail. Boom shakalaka. 30 seconds later, there's my version of this. And you can see this is something that you can do very easily there. And then once we come back here, we're all done. I said we needed the CTA tighter. And then I actually turned this into an article that I wrote for both LinkedIn and Twitter, right? We've already got the AEO optimized article. Let's just chop out all the stuff we don't need for there, copy, paste, throw it on there, boom, shakalaka. That thing is done in less than 10 minutes. And I wanted to show the step-by-step for how I do this because, number one, this is brand new to me in terms of the exact process and building it in real time. But number two, one of the things that I'm seeing strategically is look how simple that was. This is something where I'm not sending generic stuff out there. Legitimately, I am following Google's EEAT because this is a lived signal. I saw something live. I spoke my blog post. I took the world-class structure for AEO, did this, turned that into a skill, and then created another skill for how to publish that thing faster, create the thumbnail just like this, and this is what it looks like to implement at the speed of instruction. And the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome for myself was thinking that I just needed to stop on, oh, this is a good idea, let me log it in my signal bank. Instead, I took that extra step and said, wait a second, I could publish this blog post before the first half of this game is even done. And there is no one else in the world who is going to do this. And that right there is the exact level up in all of this. Because now every single day, you can go here, there we go. Oh, I'm going to share my screen, sorry about that. Here's the blog post on what separates high performers who use AI from everybody else. Completely formatted for AEO on my blog post, just like this. And this also adds this to my blog. And here's the next ninja trick. Look at this. This thing also, through Claude Code, does all the internal linking for me automatically. 3 links here, 3 links out there for my blog post. So, wanted to share that for inspiration for you. If this vibes with you and you're looking to go pro with AI, drop me a comment below or shoot me a message on Instagram at Rob Cressy. Sending tons of love and good vibes your way. Here's to having an amazing rest of the day.